Take 3. Hello, 6th grade. We are working on Lesson 5, Stanza 2 of If by Rudyard Kipling, interpreting text. We're going to pay attention to Stanza 2, and we're going to interpret, like it said, which means that we're going to pay attention to all of our words, because we know that poems are different than stories. One, they have less words, and two, the words that the author uses in poems are deliberate. That means that they have meaning. So we have to pay attention to what words the author is using and how this author means them to be interpreted. So I'm going to read the second stanza out loud, and you need to follow along. If you can dream and not make dreams your master, if you can think and not make thoughts your aim, if you can meet with triumph and disaster and treat those two impostors just the same, if you can bear to hear the truth you've spoken, twisted by knaves to make a trap for fools, or watch things you gave your life to broken, and stoop and build them up with worn out tools. Okay, we're looking at our second stanza, and if you would look closely, you will see where our first and third lines, the last word, they rhyme. Our second and fourth lines rhyme. And if we go throughout the poem, we'll see that that is the pattern. That is the rhythm that this poem has. Okay, moving on. Now we're going to pay attention to the line, if you can dream and not make dreams your master. So we need to determine, what does that exactly mean? What did Kipling mean by that? So your dreams are things that you hope, wish, and want in life, to have dreams, but not let dreams control you. So you want to work towards those dreams, but at the end of the day, you're not going to let your ambition control you, because that's not all there is to life. You have other facets. If we go back to Steve Jobs, he also had family. So if all he did was work, then his family would have suffered. So you have to prioritize things. Just like being a student, you can't just be a student. I mean, one, it's not fun, and secondly, that's not going to give you fulfillment in your life. Okay, our next line. If you can think and not make thoughts your aim. If you could think and not make thoughts your aim. So what does he mean by thoughts being your aim? It means something on which you are completely focused. Okay, we are human beings, so we have different interests. So you're not going to be completely focused all the time on one thing. So that's what this means. Something on which you are completely focused. So right now, you're focused on this assignment. So you're paying attention to just this particular assignment. Okay, our next line we're paying attention to is, if you can meet with triumph and disaster and treat those two impostors just the same. So what does he mean by both triumph and disaster? Because they mean two totally different things. They're completely opposite. Okay, triumph is a great victory or achievement, and disaster is a sudden event that causes a lot of damage. Okay, so we need to pay attention to both. You need to know how to succeed, and you also need to know how to fail and learn from that. Because that's what we do as human beings. We don't always succeed. Okay. If you can bear to hear the truth you've spoken, twisted by knaves to make a trap for fools. What is a trap for fools? Is dishonest people use true things that you say in a bad way. That means they twist your words around to mean something else. That's pretty much what they mean. I could say one thing and using an example, but then you turn around and use it in a negative way for your own benefit. So that would be a trap for fools. Our next line is, or watch the things you gave your life to broken and stoop and build them up with worn out tools. So, what do we understand from, or watch the things that you have given your life to broken? What does it mean to be broken, and who is broke? To give your life means to dedicate yourself to something or to have a strong belief that guides the way you live. So those are certain morals and ethics that we have in life that some people live by. We know that in Bud Not Buddy, he had a whole book. His whole rule of life is how to be a better liar, to be the best liar he can be. And those were rules that he lived by. We all have things, certain rules. We might not express them that way, but we all have certain things that we live by. So that's simply what that means. Why does he describe the tools as worn out, and what does he mean by this? Okay, the idea that these tools are worn out from having been constantly rebuilt. We constantly do things, when we make a mistake, we try to rebuild and do something different so that we can, a disaster could become a triumph. So we constantly rebuild over and over again because people are constantly destroying what they build. I mean, that just happens. Nothing stays the same all the time. So sometimes we lose a job, so we have to rebuild. We have to get a new job. Sometimes you might have to go back to school in order to get a better job. So that's what it means to rebuild. Okay, if you have not already read chapter 16, you need to be following along. We need to still, even though we're working on a poem, you still need to silent read at least 20 minutes a day. So if whatever chapter you're on, you need to read that. Of course, you can always read more. It's never a bad thing. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you at the next lesson. Bye-bye.